You are now listening to the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right, No Nation. This is the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the like and the alert button so that you get notified on all our new shows. We're on YouTube at National. That's at NATIONOLE. And then for IGX and all of the other links, you can catch us on Linktree /National Show. That's NATIONOLESHOW after Linktree. And then we have our own website, national.com, with the latest episode posted every time, and that's nationole.com.
That's right. And you know what else you can do when you go to that website?
You can
buy some very nice National Show merch. There's some stuff. I just got the little ding, the little notification. There's already some stuff being delivered this very day.
Oh, nice.
There's already customers taking receipts of their goods this very day.
Amazing.
Shout out to everybody that's already bought stuff at National.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's about to go to national.com and buy stuff.
Yep.
My guy, what a difference a year makes, bro. A difference a year makes. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot. So we should kind of just dive right into things. But man, my man, what a difference a year makes. First and foremost, 77 points. East Texas A&M, 3 points. Good time, Gus kind of ran it up a little. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. It was the largest margin of victory in FSU history. And after beating Alabama at home and then winning again, we've played other lower division talent before, right? And this is the largest. So even, I guess, East Texas A&M, big deal. But it is a big deal. I'm
about to say it is a big deal.
And after those 2 wins, we are now 10th in the country. What a difference a year makes, my man.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, bro. And I want to say our starters was out the game by the second quarter, bro.
We asked for, we said would, was the play. Get up 21, 28 points and get the guys out.
Yeah, so that's telling me we had 35 points scored by backups. Bro, I'm thinking of some of the great FSU teams that we had in the past and all the talent that was on those teams that wasn't able to do this. Like Jameis Winston, that team that put up some of the most points ever in NCAA football history and didn't score 77 points. And then I put that back with the environment of NCAA today where these little chunk teams ain't the same chunk teams that they was before. Not after Appalachian State, not after NIL agreements and deals and stuff that we talk about on this show on the regular basis. So they got a hell of a lot more talent on these teams than they had back in the days. And then to put the cherry on top, man, we was toe tapping with these teams just last year. So for us to
2 or 3 years away from Jacksonville State,
right?
So,
right. That's it. Right.
We understand. We get the situation, right?
Right.
We take these little teams seriously. This was a little different. This was more about us than them, right? Us putting up 77 points isn't really about East Texas A&M. This was about what we needed to do for our attitude, for our fans, you brought up the guys that scored those 35 points. That's important. We want confidence on our second string and our third string. That's what we need to be a great team. right? We want everybody fighting and feeling like they can fight and can contribute and can handle it. That's how practice gets better, and that's how teams get better. So I am very happy with this. I am more happy at this first bye week than I expected we would be. Like I would be, you know. I'm very confident in this team. I think that good time bye week, right? They put up. They won by more points than ever, and they got to have a little party. You know, they had to have a little night out. I'm sure they had a little fun. Oh, yeah. Right? And now it's go time. Right? They got one more of these tune-up games, and then they got Virginia, and then the number 5 team in the nation right now. That is now an even bigger game than it was. And if both teams somehow stay undefeated between now and then, it's going to be enormous. It's going to be the biggest game in Tallahassee since Alabama came to town a couple of weeks ago.
Right, man. I love it, bro. I love it. And like I told you, I had no problem worries about Castellanos. Like his passing week 1, that was Alabama top athletes. He put up 300 yards last week, bro. Yeah. We are set across the boards. What I love even more is when I hear some of the young guys make comments and stuff, and they're like, yeah, man, we left some points on the board, or yeah, it was some plays that we missed out. I'm like, bro, y'all beat them by 77 points.
Yeah,
I like that.
Everybody wants to be Daniel Jones and the Colts, who score on every single offensive possession in a game. Like, that's crazy. Nobody can do that.
Right.
But that was great. That was kind of what we needed. You know, it's funny to say that when we're talking about beating up on a smaller school, but it was exactly what we needed.
What we went through last year, that's exactly what the hell we needed, bro.
What a difference a year makes, my guy. All right, let's keep it going. All right, we talked about a couple other games. We'll come back to we'll talk a little bit more about this at the end of the pod. But or end of the show. I got to get used to that because we're on screen. Hi. We talked about a couple other games last week, right? We talked about Michigan at the time, 15th in the country, going to Oklahoma, that being a tough test. We were both kind of on that one. Michigan was getting a couple points. We didn't really care. Oklahoma indeed covered. They went 24-13. So we were on that one. That was wild. And the other one that we called, we were all over. USF plus 17.5. They didn't need any of them. Knocking off number 13, 16, or 18 to 16, University of Florida. Right? They were number 13 in the country. They are now unranked, I think. USF is now ranked 18th in the country. It's an exciting time. They're about to play Miami.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a good one. That's my game to watch this weekend.
We're going to talk about that game. Right. Really exciting for USF. Really exciting times for college football in the state of Florida. Right? Everybody's kind of looking good except Florida. It's what everybody wants. You know, it's really what everybody wants around here. So it's really great. What was the other? Oh, Iowa State. Iowa was.
Hold on 1 second. Before we move on from the Florida, real quick, I just want to applaud our fucking coach for not having the ego to step down and let Gus Malzahn take over the offense. Not only take over the offense, but do the play calling, because it was a dramatic change. And I say that after the Florida game because, you know, their coach is in the hot seat, and no matter how stinky their offense is, he still isn't releasing the reins to the offense. Like, I'm calling the plays or whatever. So shout out to our coach, man. That's all I wanted to say on that.
Good leadership is recognizing when somebody else is better for the specific task than you are.
Yep.
And also having the talent to recognize who the person is too. That helps.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want to put the wrong person in the position. But
our trust is in Gus.
Yeah, you kind of got me into it, but we were kind of high on Florida going into this season, but it's a mess, man. They might have fought for the guy last year, and now they're gonna have to fight for the guy this year if they want to keep him around. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. They seem to be bad at hiring head coaches over the last
horrible. Dude, Dan Mullen, what was Dan
5
Mullen
cycles? You know, over the last 15 years, we'll say.
Bro, Dan Mullen got them to like what 2 or 3 different SEC championships, and they fired him for a guy that's 20-20 now. Yeah. And he went like 31-9. So yeah, that's on them, bro. That's on them.
Yeah. All right. Iowa went to Iowa State. Super big rivalry. Always a crazy game. Once again, didn't disappoint. 13-6. Iowa State held their own. They held off their neighbors and won at home. So that was the one we talked about the least. We were the least into. The other two we were both right on. I think I was leaning towards Iowa State, but I didn't bet on that game, but I did bet on the other two. So I'm very happy with. I like doing this podcast with you or this streaming show with you because it gets me ready for the weekend, and I've been doing pretty well on the college football since I've been discussing the games with you weekly. So
nice. Shout
out to us and shout out to my bank account.
Right.
There was another football game this weekend that we should touch on quickly. Our Tampa Bay Buccaneers started their season.
Yeah, man.
Wild start to the season, like probably our biggest emotionally driven game, right? We're on the road at Atlanta. And the end of that game, like I think I had 2 heart attacks. And I was like pacing around my living room. If anybody saw me, they would have thought I was the biggest weirdo. I'm screaming. I'm sure the whole block heard me. You know?
Oh yeah.
But can't win them all if you don't win the first one. And the Bucs won the first one, so that was a big win on the road. Big win, man. And we got another tough game. We still don't get to play at home. We go to Houston for Monday Night Football this week. Thoughts on the Bucs, quick, before we get into the Pro Noll report and get into this weekend's college football games.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say I love the rookie. What's his name? Emeka Egbuka.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it. No,
maybe not. But either way,
I'm sure you got it.
Either way, I mean. I've been reading all the reports on him and everything, and I've been trying not to get myself all too excited or whatever because, he's been like the second coming of Mike Evans and all of this stuff or whatever. Even Mike Evans, a comment he made, he was like, oh, man, I wished I was as polished as this guy coming in. I'm like, bro, you've been getting 1,000 yards since your rookie year. Like, if you saying that about dude must be the truth, and dude is the truth. Yeah. So to have him... and I know he's hurt. I think McMillian is hurt now, and then the other receiver we got is hurt now. Whatever. Once we get our receiving room full,
and then we get fresh legs halfway in when Godwin comes back on the practice field.
Godwin, it's a wrap, bro. This is one of the most potent offenses I've probably ever seen in Tampa Bay, bro.
I'm pleased with it.
I have a lot of confidence
in Baker. I got a lot of confidence in Baker and this team, and I never felt out of the game. This weekend, on Sunday, I kept that confidence never wavered when we were down. I'm like, okay, well, we got enough time. This is good. We'll go get this, and we indeed did that. So it was great. It was really a lot of fun, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Yep, and the cherry on top is just the story behind Baker Mayfield. I cannot talk about this enough, man. We always talk about how shitty the league is with the draft and how quarterbacks get misplaced and rolled off and
everybody does,
or whatever. It's
bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. Yeah, there's no other industry in America that does this bullshit.
But it feels so good to see him go through what he went through and finally get a chance to shine like this, bro. Because I've been watching him since Oklahoma. Dude's been the truth, bro. He's always had that it factor. Yeah. So, and I think he fits perfectly for the organization.
If he needs me to take $50 million and from an investment from some billionaire who loves him, then break him off a no-show $28 million check, he's got it. He's got it. All right, we got his back. Whatever he needs, you know what I'm saying? We'll give him all the stock he needs and all the money, whatever. Like, we will help circumvent whatever rules are in place. He deserves it all. We are so happy he is our quarterback.
Right.
All right. Well, speaking of the NFL. Let's get into the Pro Noll report because now that it's NFL season, it's there's a lot more to talk about. Real quick, our Connecticut Sun tough week. 1-2 dropped back-to-back losses to the Atlanta Dream. They are down to 11-33 on the season. I think there's only a game or two left. I want to say they play 4 games, so they might be done. That might be it on the regular season. I don't know. I got to double check. I'll let you know next week. Baseball, it's winding up. There's like, depending on people's schedule, it's like 10 to 12 games left in this regular season. Cam Smith for the Astros has had a decent week. He's contributing to the Astros. The Astros are leading that division, AL West. 1 game back in the AL West is the Seattle Mariners, and our guy Big Dumper, his home run total, it's up to 53. He got 2 more this past week. Like I said, 1 game back. So they are fighting for that division. Taylor Walls, we said he was put on the 10-day IL last week. He is now, they've announced he's out for the season with a hernia. So it's all right. It's not like the Rays were doing much this season. Who else? Luke Weaver, 1 good outing, 1 bad outing this week. The Yankees are 3 games back in that division on Toronto. I think they have the wild card in hand. And who else? Jonathan India for the Kansas City Royals. They're 4 games back on the wild card. I mean, it's now or never. I think they pretty much have to win out. And even then, they might miss the playoffs. So the Royals aren't. The Royals are the Royals. Are what they thought they'd be. So NFL. So many Florida State guys. Let's start with the guys that had a less than great weekend, right? Let's start with the guys that lost this weekend, and then we could talk about the guys that won this weekend. That's the polite way to do it. So, a couple guys didn't play. Mario Edwards Jr. on the Texans, he's healthy, but he did not play. He was on the active roster, didn't play. Same with Josh Farmer for the Patriots, and our guy Jameis Winston. Healthy but inactive. He was inactive. The other guys were active roster. He was inactive. They just got a lot of quarterbacks,
Yeah, he might get traded because I think he's 3rd string now.
Maybe. There's so many injuries at that position. He's who I would call about if I lost a quarterback on a decent team, or if I needed a good backup for some reason. That makes sense. The Jets lost to Pittsburgh, and Thomas, whose first name I always fuck up, Azariah. I think I'm close. I'm close. Azariah Thomas.
Yeah.
He was active and on the active roster, but he did not play. But who did play was Jermaine Johnson. He had 2 big tackles. He's a contributing linebacker. Yeah,
because he was hurt like all of last year. So good job.
We talked about Jameis on the Giants. The Giants also have Graham Gano because he's going to be in the NFL forever, right? He's one of the best place kickers, in the history of the game. Really, when all's said and done, he's going to compile.
Adam Vinatieri Jr.
Yeah, he's going to compile to the point that he's going to be in that combo. Speaking of place kickers, shout out to the youngest Gano that's playing at USF. USF? I'm sorry, the youngest Grammatica.
No, Grammatica.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, they got another one?
Yeah,
that's like the 4th one.
It's like they're the Mannings. They're the Mannings of kicking, right? So talked about Gano and Winston. Also on the Giants, they got 3 nulls on the Giants. They got Brian Burns, and he really contributed. He really contributed this weekend for a very good defense that the Giants have put together, specifically defensive line, but the linebacker course solid with Burns playing. He had 6 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 other big hits on the quarterback. He had a really big game for our guy. So that was great. Who else lost? Let me get this out of the way. Oh, the Chiefs lost. Chiefs lost to the Chargers down in Brazil. Our guy, Derek Nandi, played a little bit. He had a tackle, but, he's just kind of cycling in. He's part of their depth at the defensive line. And talked about Mario Edwards. Oh, Ryan Fitzgerald for the Panthers. The Panthers, he's their kicker, right? They lost the game, but he just drilled a 48-yarder. That was like he looks like a guy who's going to be around the NFL forever too as a kicker, right? He just seems, I don't know. He's a solid place kicker. So now let's get to the guys that won this weekend. Okay? The Arizona Cardinals, they beat the New Orleans Saints. Pretty good game too. So a little closer than I thought, more competitive than I thought, but still they won. Trey Benson, running back for the Cardinals. 8 runs for 69 yards.
Okay.
But one of those runs was a 52-yarder. That was just
Oh, nice.
It was clear, like it was incredible. He made a couple people miss. Then it was wild. It was really fun to watch the highlight of. Also on the Cardinals on the defensive side is Josh Sweat. He's a linebacker there. He had a tackle, a big quarterback hit. He had a big hit. The Bills, our man Keon Coleman was the leading receiver for the Bills. Had 8 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. Big win against Baltimore. That ending was wild. That was a great game. Those are the 2 best teams in football as far as I'm concerned.
It just seems like Baltimore always seems to fall on the, I've never seen so many strange events happen at the end of games to call L's for one organization as much as them.
It's been like 9 straight losses when they've had a 90% chance of winning and whatever. Like it's just it was like a weird stat, but like they find wild ways to lose. I still don't want to play them. I still think they're incredible. You're not going to see Derrick Henry fumble the ball too often, bro. Let's just put it like that. I think that was the exception, not the expectation. All right. Jaguars, they beat the Panthers. Jerry Jones, 4 big tackles there. Who else? Derwin James Jr. Ever heard of him? He plays for the Chargers. They are who beat the Chiefs down in Brazil. 7 tackles, 2 big hits on the quarterback, 1 big hit for loss. He had a big game down in Brazil. Brazilian James Jr. We're just gonna, he's gonna move down there. I'm sure he's looking at property. He's like, "What's Zillow like around here?" While they're after the game, he's in the locker room checking out the Zillow app. Looking at houses. He's loving it down in Brazil. Brandon Fisk from the Rams, defensive end, 3 tackles and a big fumble recovery. That was a big win for the Rams. Jared Verse also had a big game for them. Had a big hit on the quarterback plus a couple tackles. I love that they are both on that defense. Like it's fun to watch them together. Right? Who else? A few more. Jalen Ramsey. Big game. Welcome to Pittsburgh. 3 tackles, 2 pass defenses, a big quarterback hit, but he essentially had a walk-off tackle, just leveled the dude and stopped the Jets from keeping the game going and essentially ended the game on defense. It was just a monster hit. It was wow. You talk about how sometimes certain players are perfect for certain teams. Jalen Ramsey should have been in Pittsburgh his whole career. Like it's just it works. It works. Yep. He's like he reminds me, he could be Tomlin's nephew for all I know. You know what I mean? It really works. It really works. The 49ers got a pair of Buccaneers, a pair of Seminoles on defense. They got Tatum Bethune at linebacker and Renardo Green, pardon me. Both of them, a couple tackles, 2 for Bethune and 4 for Green. He also had a couple passes defensed, I believe is how I'm supposed to say that. Big game for Green. And last, for the Washington Commanders, Eddie Goldman, big tackle for a loss in a big win against the Giants. I mean, like I said, the Giants have a great defense this year. The NFC East is going to be kind of a battle for second. All 4 teams are legitimate, right? The Giants are the worst of the 4, but even they have with that good defense. Like, watch out. So that's going to be a fun one. So, like I said, Pro No Report gets a lot longer during football season. Sorry, not sorry.
Football is back, baby.
That was awesome. I love it. All right. So there's some football this weekend. Even though we're not playing, we should talk about a couple other games, right?
There's still games to be played.
Right. If number 6 Georgia is going to go play football at Tennessee when Tennessee is ranked number 15, like we got to pay attention to that. You know what I mean?
I might have to put some money on that one.
Well, Tennessee is getting a couple points at home. If you shop around, you can find it at either 3.5 or up to 4.5. So if you like Tennessee, you wanted a 4.5. If you like Georgia, you wanted a 3.5, right? Shop around. We always say Tennessee. I do too. I think Tennessee is going to be up for the game, we'll say.
Yeah, and Georgia was playing around with the little scrub team they had last week or whatever. That game was a little bit too close for comfort. In like the third quarter or whatever going on. So a bunch of questions going around in Athens, and until they do something. And in Tennessee, they look like they didn't skip a beat with losing Nico Amaliva or whatever. But I kind of figured that Heupel's offense that. I know I messed his name up, but
I'm sure you nailed it. Right. He's not looking great at UCLA, but that UCLA team, it's a big step down in talent around him than what he had at Tennessee. So I don't know.
Also, Heupel got that system.
I like Deshaun Foster, man. I hope he doesn't lose his job out there, man. I like him coaching at UCLA. I think he went there, right? He's a UCLA guy, dude. So hopefully they keep him around for another year.
Yep. But also it's that system. It reminded me of Steve Spurrier offense, how you could just plug a quarterback in, a certain type of whatever, and that system is set up to just boom, 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 boom,
Tennessee.
or whatever. That's how Tennessee is now, man. I would love to see Heupel work his way back to Oklahoma in the future, his alma mater or whatever. But I love what he's doing at Tennessee, though. Love what he's doing there.
I'm enjoying what's happening in the SEC, where I don't want to call it a changing of the guards. We're just seeing that next tier isn't as far away from the top tier schools, and so it's sort of it's a lot more fun right now to watch SEC football than it has been in a while. With Alabama just dominating, Georgia just dominating.
Right? Alabama, Georgia.
I like that. Them adding Texas and Oklahoma was brilliant, and it's really made that conference way better. NIL and transfer portal has made that conference way better. So, it's fun. I'm gonna ride with you on Tennessee. I trust you. You talked me into it. All right. I think we're gonna be on the same side of this next one too. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know.
USF, 18th in the country, are getting 17.5 points. Right around the corner at University of Miami, 5 in the country. Can USF do it in back-to-back weeks and knock off the big dogs in the state?
Hell, it'd be 3 weeks in a row. Didn't they knock out Boise State that first week?
Sure, but I was thinking about
State was ranked. But I was
just thinking about the big guys in Florida. But you're absolutely right. Boise State. Yeah. Now, I don't put as much stock in preseason rankings as other. You know what I mean? So yes, Boise State was ranked, but we hadn't even really seen them play yet.
Yeah, because we was unranked, so yeah.
You talking shit, go ahead. I heard you. I heard what you said.
But yeah,
we all said it.
But
yeah, we was unranked. Yeah, you're right. I
think the biggest thing working against South Florida right now is the cat is out the bag. Like once they beat Florida at home, that kind of got Miami. They're like, oh shit, okay, all right, let me.
No more.
Right.
Real talk.
So
real talk. That's a thing. That is a thing, man. The alarms went off, and all the guys, everybody, all the coaching staff for the University of Miami turned to their wives like, "See you in a week and a half, hon." Like, It's a real game now. It's a real game now. All right.
Right.
Well,
there's no cushion in between them either. Like I can see if it was maybe Florida and then a couple weeks later Miami, but it's like back to back. So I don't think they'll have the surprise factor.
But USF, I mean, they're going to be. I suspect they're going to be confident and carry momentum.
Oh yeah,
keep that focus.
Yeah,
right. I don't think they're going to be like, "Yeah, we beat Florida. Fuck everybody."
Right.
And take this for granted. I think they're going to be like, they're salivated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's go. I would, dude. If I was a USF fan, I'd be so happy right now. This is awesome, right? This is great. Dude. This is good for that team. They got a chance.
And they got a good defense too. So I don't know.
I think they can keep it close. I enjoyed. You're
I know they
right.
can keep it close.
You're absolutely right. The way they overcame a size difference against Florida is through good coaching and good preparation and good team defense. And you kind of just need to corral Miami, limit some things for Carson Beck. You kind of want him to be put in a position where he has to throw downfield. You gotta. I would keep an eye on that the running attack and like the short passes. That's what they want. What they want to do, what Miami wants to do, is screens, dump offs. Short passes, quick passes for Carson. But they talk about it. Everybody's talking about it. He's getting the ball out of his hands faster than anybody else. He doesn't really want to get hit. It's going to be hard to get around the offensive lineman anyway. So I would go with more defenders in the secondary. You don't necessarily need to commit blitzing resources because he gets the ball out so quick anyway in passing situations. So dime package, all that. Maybe I don't want to say bet them on the money line or they're going to win the game or any of that. But
right.
A close game, man. I think they can make the Canes fans have a bit of a little stress,
But 17.5 points. I don't think Miami beating them by that much though.
I don't either. So
I can see Miami winning, but if you place that bet, I don't see them winning by 17.5 or whatever. I don't even see them winning.
Underdogs have been on fire so far. I mean, I'm comfortable betting both two so far, Tennessee and USF. But let's keep going. Texas A&M. They are going to Notre Dame. All right, Notre Dame's ranked number 8. A little sketchy. Like you've seen some things you don't love, but also the quarterback's just getting into the role. So that you expect Notre Dame to grow week to week at the moment. Texas A&M, they're 16th in the country. I mentioned Notre Dame's 8. This is a pretty big game for Texas A&M. This is their the biggest non-conference game they have. I think they're good enough to go beat Notre Dame. They're not scared of Notre Dame. In fact, they're probably extra confident. That's just kind of how everybody from the South treats Notre Dame whenever they're playing them, right? Like, what? You're good because you're up there, right? Kind of an attitude. Right. I don't think they'll be scared. I think Notre Dame's going to be like a wild scene. It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be crunk. They're playing against the SEC team. They take that shit seriously when somebody comes to town. So I think it'll be fun to watch. 6.5 points. Any thoughts there? Any lean there?
Yeah, kind of indifferent on it, man.
Yeah. I want to watch it, but I don't really know what's going to happen.
Right. Like I would pick Notre Dame to win, but are they going to cover the spread? I don't know.
Right, it's going to be close. Like they could win by 5, win by 7. I could see it go either way, right? So I'm not going to bet that game either. But I'm gonna, it's definitely going to be on. It's definitely going to be on the TV. And then those are the only 3 games with ranked opponents on both sides. But there's one game that is important to us. Clemson is still ranked 12th in the country. And they're going to short drive. They're going to Atlanta to play Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, it's a home game. Georgia Tech's getting 9 points. Atlanta's going to be wild. There's going to be a lot of Clemson fans there. I hope the Georgia Tech faithful kind of can control those seats and tickets as much as they can because there's going to be a lot of orange in that stadium. It's supposed to be an away game, but they're really going to have a lot of Clemson fans there, right? It's like it's a 2-hour drive to Atlanta, and I imagine a lot of people when they graduate from Clemson, they get their first jobs in Atlanta, right? So I feel like they got a huge alumni base there, but still, that's a good one. I think Georgia Tech's a live dog there.
Me too.
I think my concern is that this is the week that Clemson gets it together because they're not that bad. I keep watching them like, oh man, they're going to be good later in the season. So I just wonder if this is the week that they get it together and they win by 20. At the same time, like I don't think Georgia Tech's scared. Those guys got an attitude. They're playing good football so far this season, really good football, and they're one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the ACC. Like they got to play Clemson all the time. They take this game serious, So,
they're
going to be up for it. We were up for Alabama. We were up for Miami.
Right.
This is Alabama coming to town, or this is Miami coming to town, or whatever it is.
Yeah. They'll be up for it, but like you said, Clemson normally gets better as the season progresses. So I would probably lean towards them on this one or whatever, because they lose this one, they're gonna start the firedabble.com.
Oh man.
So
The
I take them
is
on it.
the 9 is just teasing me. Like if it said 7.5 or 8, like it'd be so much easier to not bet. But at 9, I'm like, ooh, that's a big number.
Yeah.
But I think I believe in your counsel. I'm not gonna like go jam Clemson to cover, but I'm not gonna bet Georgia Tech either. I'm just gonna skip this one. I'm gonna stick to Tennessee and USF this weekend. And I think usually when we agree, we do pretty well.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, listen. We don't, Coach Cortez, we're good, right? No locker room activity. Locker rooms are silent this weekend. Everyone's chilling, taking a little break, spending some time with the fam, drinking a little tea, resting the voice. How you feeling? Like, this is our first bye week. I think we actually have 3 of them because we started early again this year. So, how do you feel about Florida State, about college football, about ACC? What's your like your biggest focus or thought focus at this point in our first bye week and this point in the season?
Overjoyed. I am overjoyed. We are far exceeding expectations because remember when we was talking, we was just, let's turn the season around. Let's make a bowl game. You know what I mean? Let's, stop losing to sorry teams or whatever. And we went from 2-10 to hell. We're in contention for the ACC title, if not playoff berth this year.
Well,
right.
Let's dude. If we get into the ACC title game, I'll be I'll be a happy man. Well, and then the playoffs will take care of themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. So the big turnaround, I'm loving to see, man. It's just every box that was a need of improvement has been checked fully across the boards. I can't think of one off season with this big of a turnaround that we've had in so long. Because even leading up to the year where we went 12-0 and lost in the and got put out of the playoffs or whatever, those was gradual. Yeah, that was a gradual build. We lost 3 games.
Yeah, we had that weird 3 week or 4 weeks, 4 straight losses or 3 straight losses the year before. But we ended that season on a good note, and we felt good going into that season, right? I can't remember. Honestly, we've never had a 2-win season or whatever. So, of course, we're never going to have bounced back from that. But I'm really proud of how we have. I'm proud of the coaching staff. I'm proud of the fan base. I'm proud of the boosters. I'm proud of the admin overseeing the team. I'm proud of the players.
Culture's back. We got dogs on our team now.
I like the new coaching staff. Defense. They've really settled into the team, into the mission. Right?
Yeah, multiple
defense. I get to have a little swagger when I talk about Florida State again because I feel like we can stop guys we can stop teams on 3rd down, and that's what I like. I like have a little toughness, and it's back. Great hires at defensive coordinator, great hires at offensive coordinator, and that's what's turned it around. And that's what's turned it around. They say the college head coach job is a CEO position, not a coaching position. And hats off to our CEO. He did a good job. He put the right people in the right place.
Yep, definitely, bro.
Yeah, man. All right, let's wrap it up. Not bad. It didn't take forever. Considering there was no game, we still we had a lot to talk about. I was worried we might go forever. Cool. What's the name of the show? Oh, it's the National Show. The National Show is co-produced by Broham and BYAPN, BYAPN, but your Ash Podcast Network. We have National Show. We always forget to say this, and we need to stop. We need to remember to do it. We have an email address. If you have any suggestions, ideas, complaints, right? Any shit to talk. If you ever think we're wrong, holler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, we'll see it, we'll read it, we'll reply to it, we will engage with you. You have any ideas for content or show ideas, or you want to maybe put a little ad on the show, you want to do a little dance, a little activation, we can go do a live event together, whatever you want, holler at us. It's nationolshow@gmail.com. NATIONOLESHOW at Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have national.com. We have Linktree. It's /National Show, NATIONOLESHOW. Gangstaville also has Linktree. It is /GAINSTAVILLE. It's Linktree /Gangstaville. And there you can find all the links to his social medias and to his music. It is available on all the platforms that you can listen to music at. And you should go to all of them and listen on all of them and like it on all of those platforms, because that's the best way to support your friends that make music. We are also on social. Say hi on those. You can get the links at the national.com and the Linktree. And what else? Oh, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the little thing so you get the little notifications when the show is coming. And it's available. The podcast show is also available as a podcast via the Bet Your Ash Podcast Network. Go to betyourash.com or search Bet Your Ash on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. There's a lot to say, a lot to get through. I think that's everything.
That's it.
One more time, we have merch available at national.com. Go grab it. Dope hoodie.
Holler at us.
Yeah, all that stuff. And even though we have no game this weekend, it is always go Noles.
Yes, sir. Go Noles.
And you have just finished listening to The National Show with Gangsta, Fizil, and McGee.